Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan James. I'm a mindset coach that loves to specifically focus on relationships. I hope you're having a beautiful Sunday. I posted yesterday and today. Hi, how are you? Today, I want to talk about what you assume to be true will be true for you. And this was actually inspired by a video that I saw on TikTok. This video that I'm making here is not to call out anybody specifically or to embarrass anybody or anything like that. It's just to talk about a real life example and how the mindset you take on and the assumptions and the beliefs that you hold and you continually entertain are creating your experience. Oftentimes, a lot of people will try to take a physical approach to solving an internal problem. And this is why mindset is so important. This is why there's so much like manifestation-based content online and so many people talking about your self-concept, the thoughts that you're entertaining, who you assume yourself to be, how you assume other people to show up in your life, because your mindset, your beliefs, your assumptions are forming your perception. They're creating how you're showing up, how you're moving about your reality, how you're interpreting, and how you're responding to the things going on around you, which obviously plays a huge role in what is happening in your life. Why? Because you're the one creating your life. A combination of all those things is going to create separate outcomes dependent upon whatever beliefs or assumptions you hold and how that's causing you to show up and mentally entertain things. So this video that I saw on TikTok, let's talk about it, was this very beautiful, like gorgeous woman in LA that was talking about how if you are a 9 or a 10, men don't approach you. And then she went on to explain how she hadn't been on a date since May. Men are afraid to approach her. If she didn't take herself out to eat, essentially she would starve. That's how difficult it is for her in the dating realm. And then she pretty much ended the video saying there's no men available. Now, it's really interesting because a lot of people too would form the assumption surrounding the conventional form of beauty where it's like, oh, if you look a particular way, you're going to be heavily pursued. You're going to have lots of options, right? So it was really interesting to see this example because it just goes to show that even if you take a physical approach, even if you subscribe to the societal standard of beauty, if your mindset is not where it should be, if you don't have good beliefs about yourself, dating, men, being approached, being wanted, being liked, being desirable, then you're going to find that whatever you assume to be true is going to continue to be your experience. And this happens outside of even just this example that I'm using here. This happens with pretty much any area of your life. And this is why you'll hear it's not trying process, right? Or you don't have to try to manifest what you want. It's a mindset. Whatever you assume to be true, however you identify, whatever you believe about yourself, whatever you continually mentally entertain is going to create the results that are in your life, right? So even in that example, let's say she continues to hold on to this mindset. If a guy does approach her, that is a viable option. That is somebody that she would actually be interested in. Chances are she's not even going to allow that situation or that relationship to evolve because her mindset is so negatively augmented towards there's no available men, love is difficult, I'm not approached, I'm not wanted, I'm not desirable. And this is why your mindset is so important because even if by the off chance that you do attract in what you want, if you are consistently entertaining negative thoughts, telling yourself something's never going to happen, it's too good to be true, there's no available options for you, people don't like you, you're not approachable, money is really difficult to materialize, all of these different negative assumptions that we can form, you're going to sabotage whatever it is that you do attract into your life. The main purpose to this video, though, is to really talk about the thing that I said at the beginning, which is taking a physical approach to internal problems. Before you go and alter yourself, try the most to create the results that you desire, it's very, very wise to assess the beliefs that you hold surrounding that area of your topic and the dominant assumptions you're forming and the internal dialogue that you have with that area of your life. If those things are negatively skewed, then not only are you going to make it more difficult than it needs to be to create these results in your life, because you're going to essentially take the hard way. Okay. You're also going to find it's much harder to maintain or sustain those results as well too. The physical results that you materialize are a byproduct and a manifestation of the internal world you're existing in, what you believe about yourself. So if you are somebody that's finding it's very difficult to date, that men or women don't approach you, that people don't want to work with you, you have a hard time talking to people, you're not very personable, you don't feel confident with what you're doing, you don't believe that you can learn a particular topic, it's too hard to do this. Even if that has been your experience, even if you have a lot of circumstantial evidence to that, even if all your friends are going through the same experiences, even if everybody and everything in society is agreeing on this common thought pattern, that doesn't mean, even if that is the case, you also want to think too, if everybody's saying this and everybody's operating this way and they don't have the results that I desire, is thinking this way or believing this or assuming this going to create the results that I desire? Why am I listening to what everybody else is doing? Okay, that's number one. But number two, if I want to create new results, then I literally can't think this way. How am I going to create a relationship that I desire if I believe there are no available men? How am I going to materialize more money into my life if I think it's impossible? How am I going to fix a relationship if I don't believe that fixing a relationship is possible? How am I going to become personable or liked or be able to have the social life of my dreams if I don't believe that there's any people in my area, people aren't friendly, I'm not approachable, it's difficult to make friends? It doesn't make sense, right? You can't subscribe to those beliefs and those assumptions and then just hope that things turn around. You have to take an active approach to being the conscious creator of your reality and really assess what your beliefs and the dominant assumptions are that you hold and change those if they're not working in the way that you desire. The other thing I want to talk about, okay, is a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but I've seen a thought pattern online where when people are shifting in their beliefs and their assumptions, they're saying, how do I drop the logic to this, right? So I want to create something new in my life, okay, something that I haven't experienced before. How do I drop the logic behind believing that this is possible? To me, there's no logic to drop, okay? So getting what you want, being attractive, having people like you, being able to have the career of your dreams, the relationship of your dreams, being able to fix relationships, turn situations around, shouldn't feel like an illogical thing to focus on. You shouldn't feel like, how do I have to figure this out? Right? So if I get the beliefs in alignment and I step into this version of myself generally, this is all in your mindset. So who you're identified as, what you believe, what's going on in your mind, the behaviors, the manifestations, the things attracting in, how things unfold in your reality will naturally unfold as you shift what's going on up here, as it has been this whole time. Okay. So there's no logic to drop. And also I want you to really think about that. When you say, how do I drop the logic on this? You're essentially saying it's not logical for you to get what you want. It's not logical for things to work out in your life. It's not logical for people to be attracted to you. You're assuming the worst. You've normalized things not going in a desirable direction, which I understand that, right? Maybe there are quite a few negative experiences that have happened in your life, but there's been quite a few negative experiences that have happened in my life. And I'm here to tell you, in order to turn that around, you need to believe that you're somebody that can get what you want, that it's not illogical for you to be successful. It's not illogical for you to attract in the things that you want into your life. It's not illogical for you to be able to create solutions in your life. There's no logic to drop. That should be your normal. It should be normal for you to expect that people are going to love you, respect you, go through whatever change they need to honor you. It should be logical to expect that you can create your dream career, that you can increase your income, that you can live in the body of your dreams. It should be logical for you to expect good things to happen in your life. And if we're really questioning that thought form, it's just as illogical to assume that good things are going to happen as it is illogical to assume that bad things are going to happen, because it's an assumption. It's a belief system. And whatever you believe, whatever you entertain, whether it's true or not, in actuality, it's going to be true for you. You're going to make it true for you. Just like I used that example of the woman earlier. Even if she attracts in somebody that is a viable option, her dominant assumption that there are no available men, love is difficult, I'm always going to be single, doesn't matter if you're really good looking, people aren't going to approach you, there's no good options for you. If she continues to assume that way and believe that, even if she attracts in somebody that is a viable option, she's going to prove that assumption true to herself, whether that be through sabotaging the relationship, pushing this person away, rejecting them, or doing things unconsciously that just cause the relationship to dissolve. You're the creator of your life, of your experiences. What's going on in your mind, how you view yourself, how you view the world generally, what you assume to be true is always going to be your experience because you're going to make it that way. It's not about changing anybody or anything outside of you. It's about genuinely becoming the change. This is nothing crazy, okay? It's actually taking ownership and accountability for who you are, how you identify, and how you're moving about the world. What you're deciding is true for you, the life that you're creating. And in order to create a life that you love, you need to feel empowered enough to believe in your ability to do that and to form the thoughts, the awarenesses, the assumptions, the behaviors, the ways of operating that allow for you to create that. And that first begins with your mindset. So what does that mean? You need to start shifting your self-image, your self-concept, what you believe about yourself, what you believe about different areas of your life. And you also need to be aware of the thoughts that you're dominantly entertaining. What are you deciding is occurring in your life? How are you characterizing the people in your reality? How are you mentally viewing them? How are you responding to them? You need to take ownership and accountability for your mindset. That doesn't mean that you take ownership and accountability for every single thing that's going on around you, but how you perceive it, how you respond to it, how you move forward, who you identify as, and who you assume yourself to be and how things show up in your life, that is what you take ownership and accountability for. And really how you respond to something can change the trajectory of a situation completely. Again, you don't take full ownership and accountability for everything. If somebody's shitty or somebody is treating you in a rude way, did you create that person to treat you rude? No, but how you respond to them, what you believe about yourself and what you believe about that area of your life is going to show them whether or not they can get away with being rude to you, whether or not you allow that type of treatment into your life. So I want you to think twice, you guys, about what you're entertaining, because there are a lot of narratives online. I've seen it too, like, oh, if you're a really attractive person, people aren't going to approach you. You're not going to get a lot of compliments, right? Or like, there's just so many different narratives online, right? It is what you believe it to be. Whatever experience you believe, whatever you assume to be true is going to create your experience. Let's go back one more thing. I want to add one more thing. Let's go back to that original example that I used with the girl online, okay? I could just see where if that's your mindset, oh, I never get approached. People don't approach me at the bar. People don't approach me when I go out to dinner. Guys don't approach me. Think about how that's going to translate behaviorally as well, too. We communicate in so many different ways, you guys. So you're probably going out into public and presenting yourself in a way that is unapproachable. And instead of recognizing that and seeing yourself as a part of the problem, you're placing the blame outwards. Oh, it's the men, it's the other people. Everybody else is the problem but me. It has to be them. I'm unapproachable because of them. No, definitely not. No, okay? Maybe sometimes, okay? Maybe some people are a little intimidated of you, right? But you can't just say that. You have to really look at, what do I believe and what am I assuming to be true? That is going to create your experience. It's going to be true for you. And the moment it becomes true for you, the moment that becomes your dominant train of thought, identity, and assumption, you're not going to allow anything else to be your experience. You're always going to prove yourself right. So be careful what you're entertaining. This is not to scare you, okay? You can change these things very easily. You just have to persist in new beliefs, a new way of identifying, and new assumptions, and make it a daily mission to identify in this new way. To no longer see anything outside of you as evidence of what you're creating for yourself, stepping into an empowered version of yourself and deciding who you are and how people, places, and things are going to show up for you. Okay. All right. I love you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all later. Bye.